You're listening to the Major Pod Network, the only place where your favorite toy store, card shop, arcade, theme park, and arena are all on the same block. Scratch that major itch.
This is Tony Chimmel, and I'd like to introduce the hosts of the Game Marks podcast, George Feis and Johnny Clash.
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast presented by the Major Pod Network. I'm the man they call Johnny Clash.
And I am Mr. Anything is Feasible, George Feis, and today we are kicking off Game Wars with round one, WCW NWO Revenge versus Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. Which game is going to advance to round two? The vote is in your hands. We are also taking a break from Game Wars to discuss AEW Fight Forever and some more exciting gaming news.
And don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review for this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and follow us on all forms of social media at GameMarksPod, and check out the exclusive content we're creating for our Patreon at patreon.com/GameMarksPod. I also want to add, every week you get this beautiful episode in video format as well on YouTube if you want to see our pretty faces as well as hear our pretty voices. George, this is it. This is round one, week one. The first head-to-head. This is Game Wars. I am so excited. You were reading that, and I was getting all like giddy and stuff. I
tried to do my best like announcer voice for it.
We just came from a playthrough of both games that I could say we haven't played in a while. I mean, Revenge we kind of play here and there still pretty often, but Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, I don't remember the last time I played that. There's some things now that I've played all these video games that all this nostalgia and all these new features that you don't notice before just come rushing back. I cannot wait to dive into it. But first,
I'm ready.
Follow up from last week. Pro Wrestling Sendoku Den. Double future endeavor from both of us. Got a little bit of a reaction when we posted it. Some people were saying, like, responding, thanks for sharing this, didn't know that this was a thing, check it out. We were asking, who is this audience for? There's an audience for everything. This has to be like the EFED TEW like simulator crowd that is into this game, and I get it. I don't see why it wouldn't be. You know, you're actually able to watch the matches now. So, if you like it, you like it. There's 3 of them. Go check them out. We're going to cover the other 2 at a later date.
Yeah, my main thing is that still the pacing. It's like if it went faster, it probably would be one of the better sims in terms of like getting to actually watch the matches as they play out and stuff like that. And if you're using it as an EFED, you could like do commentary over it and stuff. Like I understand, true. Like you said, I understand the place for it, but little slow. Yeah, I don't know. It's now buried in the graveyard, but we'll see it again on future endeavored one day. We will.
But we want to say right now, when we hit 1,000 Twitter follows, we are going to drop the video game history of the one, the only, Mick Foley. That's Mick Foley. That's Mankind. That's Cactus Jack. That's Dude Love. That's whatever incarnation Mick Foley is in. We are only about 100 or so follows away. So listen, more than that, listen to this episode. So just head on over to Twitter, hit that follow button. We post some cool stuff, some little tidbits, a lot of retweets here and there. We get some insight from guys like Justin Leeper. We get a lot of stuff there on Twitter. I've been trying to change it up lately and post some different stuff on different formats of social media. Yeah, head on over to Twitter and do that. But okay.
Oh, and it's free. It costs you nothing.
Costs you nothing. But George, we have to discuss right now.
Man.
There's a lot to unpack here. AEW Fight Forever. At first, it showed up as an Amazon UK listing, which kind of announced the Switch release, PC, Xbox, Series S, Series X, PS4, PS5. I first saw this listing in the Major Pod group, and I first said, guys, be a little weary of these Amazon listings. I mean, listen, my job posts Amazon stuff before we have the product, too. There's a date of December 31st, which just kind of is a placeholder date because it's not going to drop on a holiday or a Saturday. I think you just have to be careful. Listen, the pre-sales aren't going to go anywhere. If you're in the market to pre-order this game, maybe hold off till there's an official listing, or maybe it's on the AEW Games website. I'm not saying what's on there right now is not legit. Maybe just wait to see if it's the real deal. Also, the $59.99 price point kind of got me because these games on next gen are all they're $70, right? $69.99. Most of them, I think, Spider-Man was.
They're way more expensive than.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think how far the price of a video game has gone just from like the early 2000s to now.
Xbox One games were $49.99. And I remember that because my first job, I was getting like $6 an hour, maybe even $5.50. And I was like, hey, I could get an Xbox game a week. And my dad was like, no, you're not. You're going to save your money. But yeah, Fusion Frenzy was a nice solid $49.99 plus tax. But Fight Forever. Okay. Officially, THQ Nordique? Nordique, like the defunct hockey team. We are going to get more gameplay on August 12th, which I think might have been leaked already by Xbox accidentally in a commercial with Britt Baker and Tony Schiavone. It's going to feature different match types and arcade wrestling feel. From what we saw, it looked very, very on par with today's episode. It looked very THQ, AKI. It's developed by Yuke, so that makes sense. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I just think it's a little janky right now. You know, there's some animations that are a little flubsy, but they do say on the bottom this is still in development. Don't count on this being the final thing. But it makes you think, like, if this game's coming out by December, what else they got to do here?
So someone posted online a picture of the original Jericho versus the more recent Jericho that we saw in this last trailer. And man, oh man.
Huge upgrade.
The scale of the head to body for all of these characters is so much better. The detail in the characters is great. The proportions is accurate, but the style of the character models themselves are, I don't want to say cartoonish, but they're a little too smooth. If that makes sense. But again,
I'm okay with it because they're going for the arcade look. We said it when we first saw the preview months ago that they look like Fortnite characters. And if you look at like a full body screenshot, there's the one of Thunder Rosa, Abaddon, and I don't know who that other female is.
I think it's a Cree.
Maybe?
Maybe it's Creator.
Maybe it's someone in the story mode even. You could tell that they are not as realistic.
No. It's Yuka Sakazaki.
Okay. I'm not that familiar. Sorry. But anyway, let's get back to what is included. They announced single, tag team, three-way, four-way, a ladder match, casino battle royale. That's going to be fun. Falls count anywhere, unsanctioned lights out, and exploding barbed wire death match. Notably not there is a cage match. But I do have to say, cage matches in AEW are far and few between, but so are death matches. That's just cool to have. But we know Kenny's been working on this game. Kenny Omega, he's a big Fire Pro guy. He was in Fire Pro World with the exploding barbed wire death match. He was in the damn match. And we just hope that the explosion is a little bit more than a No Mercy pyro like it was in real life.
I hope they do the full presentation of the Lights Out match where they have Justin Roberts in the ring. And they're like, ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, the lights are going to shut off, and when we come back, AEW is not responsible. Like, I hope they give the whole presentation.
Honestly, that's one of my favorite things they do. I like those little nuances. It's also going to feature...
It makes it feel real.
Yeah, it's going to feature online co-op multiplayer matches as well as just co-op. Really deep story mode, apparently. And I think... Listen, I saw a lot of people with really stupid takes on this game online. Oh, it looks like a PS2 game. Well, guess what? PS2 is the best-selling console of all time. So shove that in your face. I think...
And also, like, that's kind of the aesthetic that they have been talking about this entire time, where they want to have the gameplay mechanics and a style inspired by the N64 PlayStation games.
Right, go back to having fun.
Bring that over to a, updated graphical engine where the graphics look like they're made in 2022 and, like...
I love it.
Are for current-gen consoles. I think... And I'm not saying this because, John and I have had any hands-on experience, but I think if they have managed to do everything that they were setting out to do, this has the potential to be one of the greatest wrestling games of all time.
Or it's TNA
just
Impact.
based on what they said. Or
which is the greatest wrestling game of all time.
Yes. Or they're hyping it up too much and gonna overpromise and underdeliver. But if they can do what they're putting on paper, I think we may have a top contender here.
So going back to putting pen on paper, I think the worst part so far of this game's presentation is the cover art. We mentioned a few weeks ago UFC Sudden Impact for Japan. This is literally the same cover, just with Jade Cargill and the rest of the AEW roster. The more I look at it, the less bad it is. It's just... Yeah. I think AEW has such a creative look and feel, and their designs are always so on point. It's very on brand with their pay-per-views and what they do. I just thought for a game it would look a little better.
I really thought that, if you tell me that there is going to be an AEW game, for some reason in my head, I picture a cover that's kind of like the Dynamite intro.
Exactly. That
where it's this smoky, fiery grunge style, but it's a little more colorful.
100%.
And there's a little bit more, energy behind it. Like, this doesn't have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I think that's what, like...
I would have liked to see the Dynamite set behind it, maybe. Something.
Yeah, give me an arena.
Fight Forever, maybe a crowd behind it, chanting Fight Forever, like you...
Yeah, I also am not a big fan of the
CM Punk.
Font
Me neither.
they use for Fight Forever.
Okay. Yeah, it's very defont.com.
Yeah.
Avengers font.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh God, is it? No, it's not.
No, is it actually?
Man, it's close though.
What's
as long as they didn't use Birth of a Hero, we're good.
Revolution was that paper? It kind of looks like Revolution. I think I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, there's a Willow running in the background.
Yep, she's here. It's very close to the Revolution font. So, like I said, it's on brand with them, but I would have liked to see something a little cooler. Well, you never know. There might be some variants. I would also like to see what we're getting with the pre-order bonus, because there are some mini games in here. Are we getting a baseball bat for Stadium Stampede? Are we getting a Penta mask for Penta Says? What are we getting? Are we getting a Lick-a-Tongue... whatever that mini game was from Stadium?
Lick-a-Tongue Sushi,
best
the sushi game?
Best game.
So this, we talked about it a lot on our Discord. If you were not aware, we have a Patreon Discord. So if you join our Patreon, you get to be a part of our Discord. One of the conversations that came up when we were talking about this was how this is kind of like a cool mashup between like those N64 wrestling games, but also kind of taking inspiration from maybe a Mario Party or a Pokemon Stadium. Like it's kind of, it's a wrestling game, but it's more than that.
Right, and if you're going to complain about mini games in here, there's like one simple solution there. Don't play them, you marks. Yeah. How about that? Anyway, how good is it to see Ukes and
What did Smart Mark do to make you always want to call him out on stuff?
Not him, How good is it to see Ukes and THQ back on a game cover together?
I gotta say, I really, for some reason, was just like, oh, what if there's like an alternate cover? And it's like a throwback cover, and it's like the old Ukes logo and the old THQ logo, and like the graphics on the cover are like super retro and stuff. Like
CM Punk pointing at Moxley like, ugh. There might be stuff like that. You never know. Well, still, can't wait to see what the pre-order bonuses are. Chances are it's probably going to be like a t-shirt with the logo on it or something. But regardless, I'm very excited for it. Hopefully we get some clarity. Hopefully we get some more gameplay next week. Maybe by the time you're listening to this. No, that's next Friday. So maybe next episode we'll be able to throw in some stuff and see what we saw on the 12th. So That'll be cool.
I want playable demo, baby.
Playable
That's
demo.
what I want.
Let's do it. But all right. Go put your helmet on because it's time to go to war. Because right now we are about to take the plunge, take the deep dive, and head-to-head battle. WCW NWO Revenge, VPW 2. Let's go, baby.
Game Wars.
Hey, George. You see this light here that says Game Over that I point to at the end of every single episode, like Ronda Rousey pointing to that WrestleMania sign?
I do.
Do you know where I got it?
Why don't you tell me?
I got it from Zavvi. That's us.zavvi.com, Z-A-V-V-I, and they literally have everything. I have spent hours on this website looking up Mandalorian, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter, like everything you could imagine. There's Legos, Power Rangers. You could pre-order the new Marvel Legends. It's an insane website that has literally everything pop culture. There's even Batman shoes on here.
I mean, I know for me, a little like adult Zen garden project that I like to do is like the smaller Lego sets, and Zavvi has a lot of those Lego sets on there and getting kind of itchy. So if you like all things pop culture, like John said, Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, Nintendo, they're even getting into the wrestling game now.
Oh yeah.
Zavvi is the place for you.
That's right. Use code GameMarks, simply just GameMarks, at checkout, and you can get 10% off.
I'm going to redo my wardrobe.
Game Wars.
Oh, that's pretty good. That
was all right?
a good Regal impression. Yeah.
All right, George.
So how do we want to start? Do we want to just kind of kick it off with, I mean, there's a lot of similarities here between these two games, obviously. WCW NWO Revenge, released October 26, 1998. VPW 2, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, released January 28th, 2000. Revenge, published by THQ. VPW, published by Asmic Ace Entertainment. Revenge, developed by Asmic Ace Entertainment and AKI. And Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, developed by Asmic Ace Entertainment and AKI as well. Both games for the N64.
So, before you go any further, some people might be saying, how could you compare these two games? VPW came out 2 years later. Revenge was a 98 game, it's a little older. Listen, so when you think of the greatest wrestling games of all time, there's going to be some within Game Wars that don't match up. Next week, we're playing Here Comes the Pain versus Fire Pro Wrestling World. We kind of drew these at random, but we kind of drew them all at the same time, like this one. There's always the argument, what's the greatest wrestling game of all time? It always comes up, No Mercy, Revenge, VPW 2. I didn't want to throw No Mercy in here, in this battle, this exact battle. I wanted Revenge to go up against VPW 2 because they both hold a special place in people's hearts. They're both in the running for greatest wrestling game of all time. So I wanted to see how it's going to play out, but some info here. Revenge is a sequel to WCW versus NWO World Tour. It's the last WCW game on this engine, and it's preceded by Thunder on the PlayStation 1, and we know how that goes. Now, VPW 2 is the sequel to Virtual Pro Wrestling, which is compared to WCW versus the World for PS1, and Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, which is compared to WCW versus NWO World Tour. Now, this is the third in the series, and this is on the same engine. This is compared to, looks, feels, plays the same as WrestleMania 2000.
Same soundtrack.
Same soundtrack and everything. Now, WrestleMania 2000 was also released in Japan, and that's unlike any other AKI WCW title. They all came out separately in the US and Japan as their respective names. This is the only one to get both releases. Okay. Are we ready to dive in deeper?
So let's do this. How about this? I will take the deep dive features for WCW NWO Revenge, and how about you do Virtual Pro Wrestling?
Deal.
All right, so let's break down some of the key factors here for WCW NWO Revenge. Over 60 wrestlers, including 50 WWE,
Whoa.
50 superstars from WCW and NWO. They also have unique entrances, moves, taunts, what you would expect from a wrestling game. Pumping 4-player action with Rumble Pack support for thudding realism. Advanced game engine giving smoother animations, faster speed, and improved character AI. Everyone's favorite thing to turn off right immediately after loading the game. The instant replay feature, showing off your deadly finishing moves.
It's like, oh shit, I forgot to turn it off after the first one.
Yep. John and I's favorite thing to play, the 40-man Battle Royal mode where winner takes all. A unique thing to WCW NWO that really doesn't make a lot of headlines and cool features. Full user statistic tracking win-loss tie records for each wrestler.
Yeah, that is
John,
cool.
have you ever had a tie in WCW NWO Revenge?
No, we always turn the time limit off or count out. I feel like that's the only way possible.
Yeah, I've never had a tie ever.
Yeah.
For the first time, THQ introduced actual arenas into a game, meaning you're getting the actual WCW Nitro. You're getting Starrcade. You're getting Bash at the Beach and Halloween Havoc. So good. And honestly, one of the major replay factors for this game, the new Championship mode, which also enables the player to select a belt held by a unlockable wrestler. And then, as you play through the Championship mode, you unlock that wrestler. And who doesn't love the wonderful unlock system of a video game?
That's right. Now let's break this down, compare it to WCW versus NWO World Tour. You're not getting that big roster. You're not getting the arenas.
No.
You're not getting any entrance at all, any music. There's maybe some taunts, some weapons. But I think the biggest miss in Revenge, there's not many, is the theme music. And I get it. It's still early on in N64. We're not there yet. We're not at the WrestleMania 2000 No Mercy level where everyone gets music except Terry Reynolds, and it's all just their theme music. And yes, it does sound a little crinkly, a little distorted, but that's kind of now that we look back on it, that's like the allure of it. That's like what we look forward to. I actually thought my N64 was broken back in the day. Not broken. I thought the music always had these like crackles in it, and then I realized later in life when I played it on like a real TV, not my little 14-inch whatever, there was just something wrong, and it was like like the whole thing was just cracking. I just
like your speakers were blown out on your television or something.
I just thought it was supposed to be like that until later. I was like, oh, my whole life I was lied to. And it's one of those things, like I still hear it when I hear the songs, like I know where the crackles were.
Now I will say this, there are, and we talk about this in our playthrough available on our YouTube channel, there are some key factors that go into this game where you are missing out on some things that if you are a bigger fan of, say, WrestleMania 2000 or VPW2 or No Mercy that you're missing. So running grapples, the AB strong strike, these things are missing. The ability to, angle and turn your grapples, throw your opponent out of the ring. These are things that are missing.
You drop the weapon.
AI is dropping the weapon. It's gone forever. There's some subtle differences, some features that weren't developed yet or put into the game that you notice if you are a bigger fan of the later titles in the AKI THQ series.
Now, I want to say, what is the bigger jump in your mind? Revenge to WrestleMania 2000 or WrestleMania 2000 to No Mercy? I feel like...
I think World Tour to Revenge is the biggest jump.
That is a big jump also.
I think that's the biggest jump, and so for me, how it sits in my head is that Revenge to WrestleMania 2000 to No Mercy is natural progression. We have this game, let's build on it. The jump from WCW NWO World Tour to Revenge is we had this game that was just like the bare bones skeletons of this game, and it did so well that for the next game, we have to pull out all the stops to really give the fan base what they want. Like, there's such a vast difference, like you mentioned before, just from the size of the roster to the quality of the graphics, which, I mean, is saying something from that big jump, to the presentation of the game itself. It's such a huge jump from World Tour to Revenge that everything else after that just feels like, now we're just going to take this game, add more stuff, and make it better.
Yeah.
Add more stuff better.
Yeah, I get that. I just always think, maybe because No Mercy was the latest, I feel like the arenas are more arenas. They're not like these little condensed weird things. Everything just got a huge facelift, huge upgrade. We've argued before, you think WrestleMania 2000 skins are better than No Mercy. I think opposite. But that's an argument for another day. Let's go to VPW 2 here, because unlike any other virtual pro wrestling game, you're not getting WWF or WCW wrestlers even behind a name change. We know VPW 64, you're getting featuring WCW and NWO, so this is a big change. This is just separate. You're getting No Cage or First Blood, which are in WrestleMania 2000, but First Blood matches are not really a thing in Japan. But after I read it, after 2 blood stoppages in a Japanese match, the match is called, so technically that's like a First Blood, but there's also No Cage. The return of the Test of Strength grapple system, as well as the strike combinations from Revenge, so that's something we see in both that we didn't get in the WWF games later on. MMA shoot fighting rules. Now, this was something, if you go watch our playthrough, that had us kind of mind blown, that something we forgot about. You are getting fully drawn out MMA moves in here, depending on your wrestler style. It's not just your stance like in No Mercy. George explained this earlier in the playthrough. You're not just getting like a martial arts stance. You are a martial artist, and you are going to do those moves. If you get whipped, you are holding on. You're doing a different animation than the next. There are different ways to stop moves in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, where you could stop a drop kick in midair. That's not something we saw collision-wise in any other game. There are limited entrance music. There's only a few in here, a few licensed Japanese songs in here, and they kind of repeat, which is fine. It's the same thing as Revenge. You're getting Nippon Bokuden, the Kawasaki Stadium, Karakin Hall, and the Tokyo Dome, which I said during the playthrough, how nice is it to see great. Not Japan Hall or something off-brand, something off-named from like a Fire Pro or a Fire Pro adjacent.
Yeah. Super Wrestle Stadium or something like that.
Actually have the damn stadium names in here. It's so cool. It's kind of like, not really, but Nitro was one of the arenas, one of the games that had actual arenas in it. And I remember they were very random, and you would look up and you'd see like the old Nassau Coliseum logo as you were wrestling, which was so cool to us because
cool.
we were out of the, 6 arenas in the game, we were one of them. So it was pretty cool. There were no Islander banners in there though, unfortunately. There are 3 referees you can pick from, and they all have distinct like reactions and count speeds, and they are the same as WrestleMania 2000 and Revenge, where it's an animated ref in the corner. We're not getting full-fledged ref. We never get that in these games. We get a what's called special guest referee later on in No Mercy. Expanded Creator Wrestler mode, and now they added mask editing, which is very cool.
That's amazing. That's the best feature of this game.
Wait, there's more.
So fun.
There's belt creation, including the Triple Crown, which unifies 3 championships. And apparently the Smoking Skull belt was originally available, but they removed it from the final game, but you could access it through cheats. And
so they removed it being available, but they didn't remove it from the game.
Smart on their part, because they knew someone was going to crack that. Now, 12-month Royal Road Succession mode. It's very similar to the Road to WrestleMania mode in WrestleMania 2000, and that is your career mode of VPW 2. There's just more to this game. When you look at it...
I will say this. The Road to WrestleMania mode, it was also the Royal Road Succession, I think is the weakest part of this game.
That's saying a lot.
I did not like playing Road to WrestleMania in WrestleMania 2000. It was not... It goes on for far too long, and there's not a lot of, like, story behind it.
No.
And, I mean, granted, there's not a lot of story behind the championship mode in Revenge, but I think because it's shorter, it's more tolerable. Whereas Road to WrestleMania, Royal Road Succession, it goes on kind of long.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I say No Mercy is also a bigger jump, because I think the branching stories there are just unmatched. And the way that they have the percentages where it's very hard to 100% them, that just adds such another dimension to it that makes it so playable forever unless you have the broken cartridge. And
that's true.
I don't know. On the surface, when you first look at these games, I was kind of putting together like a little montage here down below of just the visuals of this game. Revenge is colorful. Revenge is bright. Revenge looks like WCW TV. You're getting the colorful wrestlers in their gear, the stage with all the lights, the logos, the beautiful Nitro logo, the yellow buckles, everything. And then you look at VPW 2, it's more plain. The ring is just blue. It's kind of just very one tone, like it's the blue with the wood around it, and you're not getting an entrance stage. But that's Japanese wrestling at the time. So like where you hate it,
that's what
it's accurate.
We're used to a certain kind of like presentation in terms of the arenas and stuff, but for a lot of Japanese wrestling, the color didn't come from the arena; it came from the wrestlers.
Right.
Like their entrance gear was always elaborate and over the top and bright and colorful. And I think the simplistic nature of the arenas and the ring, like, was done that way intentionally to highlight the characters more.
Yeah, I could agree with that. We also saw a lot of repeated like gear in this game, a lot of generic gear. But listen, that's exactly what it was on TV at the time for them. They didn't. Very popular to see Japanese wrestling where both guys are just wearing black trunks.
Where everyone use as their sting pants for WWF No Mercy, those are actually the Great Muta pants in VPW 2. And, there's a lot of crossover for what is a generic move or a generic taunt in No Mercy is, attributed to an actual wrestler, like a full-on character that's, a major name in Japanese wrestling in VPW2, which, I mean, there are some big names in both games. I mean, both of these rosters are big. I mean, but there's just some names that, we're not going to read out everyone, but like in Revenge, you've got Hogan, Giant, Kevin Nash, Sting, Randy Savage. It's everyone who is a big name in WCW at the time. And then you've also got those crossover characters like AKI THQ Man and Hanzoman. But all of those characters from EWF and DAW are ports from Virtual Pro Wrestling 64. And, you're getting Mitsuharu Misawa, Hayabusa, Kenta Kobashi, like you're getting those movesets and those characters just rebranded under people like Shogun and Hanzoman and stuff like that. But in Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, you're getting actual Giant Baba, actual Mitsuharu Misawa, the like real Kenta Kobashi. You're getting Shinya Hashimoto, Tatsumi Fujinami. You're getting real Hayabusa. And then not to mention, there's also a lot of names that would even be familiar if you're only a fan of American wrestling, like Terry Funk, or Dr. Death, or Andre the Giant, or Abdullah the Butcher. If you're only a fan and you really only follow UFC, don't worry, they got you too, because they also have people like Don Fry and Boss
George's favorite,
and Mark Kerr. And I mean, Onita's in this game.
Yeah.
It's the roster for VPW2 is really what sets it apart from everything else that's out there at the time, and I think it's one of the things that has made it such a mainstay in so many people's mind. But is the roster enough to make it win? We'll have to see how everyone votes.
Hey guys, former WWE superstar Hornswoggle here. You might know me from Leprechaun Origins, from being Vince and Finley's son, for being an official mascot of D-Generation X, for my starring role in Muppets Most Wanted, for my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/DylanPostel, for my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DylanPostel. You might know me in any of these roles, but what you don't know is I am an avid video gamer. WCW Revenge is one of the greatest wrestling games of all time. Not only one of the greatest wrestling games, but one of the greatest video games of all time. To me, it is a top 10 of all time video game. No one cares about virtual pro wrestling. I don't even know what the fuck it is. You're wrong. Shove it up your ass.
Well, here's another thing I want to point out. That the entrances in Revenge, you're getting the full entrance. They start on the stage. You know what I always liked? When you pick your arena in Revenge, it just zooms into that little screenshot of the arena, and you're already there. There's no load time, which is so cool.
It's great.
We all like the match graphic in the beginning at WrestleMania 2000 where they're moving and No Mercy, but we don't need it. I like seeing it just go right into the match. Yeah, you're right here. Yeah. But you get the full entrance. You get the taunt on the stage. You get the walk around the ring. You get the in-ring taunt. You get all of that. Now, on the other hand, VPW 2, you start in the locker room, which is kind of cool. They're kind of like a little Goldberg-y. Maybe they should have...
I say everyone gets the Goldberg
They should have
entrance.
crossed that over to Goldberg in Revenge a couple years earlier, and that would have been pretty sick.
How do you not do that?
Well, it probably didn't exist yet, but...
Leaving settings on the table there, John.
So you make your entrance from the back, which is a very New Japan, All Japan thing to do. It's cool. There's not a big stage around it. You get in the ring. You're standing face-to-face with your opponent. There's an announcer there to announce who you are, your weight, your height, where you're from, and
that's so
then
great.
The bell rings. That is something we are missing from every single WCW, WWE branded THQ, AKI game, and it's just so nice.
Oh, so good. And I mean, you didn't know that you needed it until you play a game that had it, and you're like, yeah. But I mean, that's just par for the course. But man, what a difference.
But all right, let's talk about this now. The covers. Is Revenge the most iconic cover out of any game in this series? Because I'm saying yes.
Let's see.
Revenge?
WCW, NWO World Tour, not... I mean, good.
That's the giant,
not memorable.
Right? Versus the World of Sting.
Then you have Revenge. Yep. Then you have Revenge. Then WrestleMania 2000 is just the black...
Where everyone's different sizes.
Wait, I actually... Hold on. Wait a second. You're not the only one.
Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful cartridge. Still
WrestleMania 2000... WrestleMania 2000, just black
I am
cover.
missing that one from my collection. I don't know where it is. I might have sold it one day.
And let me tell you, do you know what I'm missing from my collection? World Tour.
I never had it.
I cannot find my copy of World Tour, and I'm very upset about it because it was literally the first game that we got when I got my N64, and I really wanted to have that original
Never
copy,
owned
and I
it.
just don't anymore.
But I think Revenge is just iconic, and how many times has this been recreated and mocked and mimicked?
I mean, hell, we recreated
it. Yeah, it's great. It's beautiful. Now, VPW, on the other hand, is also a really good and really iconic cover. I love the art style of it. I love that the heavy hitters are there with the belts and everything. And Vader's big, and Noki's big. It's also just a really cool cover. I think if you go head-to-head with these two, they're very close. But I give the edge to Revenge Ski here.
I think it's a context thing. I think Revenge may be the more notable cover in the States, but I think if you ask an international audience, I think you're going to get a resounding win for virtual pro wrestling too. But I'm with you. I think that Revenge is the more iconic cover, at least in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. I was also going to say VPW 64. The cover, you're getting that ring, you're getting just like a cool visual of wrestling. I like that. Now, Revenge doesn't have we say, like, does it show that it's wrestling? You're getting fucking Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Goldberg, and then somehow Raven on the cover. Covers all bases,
Raven,
but that's wrestling. That is wrestling.
The Flock was a standout faction in WCW.
That should have been DDP or Sting, and we know it.
Yes, I agree.
But yeah, both very iconic covers. I want to run through now the ratings and reviews of each game. Do you want to take one? I'll take the other.
Yeah, so I will. I'll take Revenge, and you could take Virtual Pro Wrestling too. All right, so your ratings and reviews. Oh my god, this is so exciting! I get to do this.
I'll even give you the background music.
Oh my god, you just spoil me. All right, so your reviews for WCW NWO Revenge. Revenge surpassed the success of its predecessor, World Tour. Within a month, it became the highest-selling console game in North America. WCW NWO Revenge also won 1998's Fighter Game of the Year by the Academy of Interactive Arts and Science, making the second consecutive year an AKI THQ title achieve the honor, with World Tour being the first. It would quickly reach Player's Choice status and become heavily responsible for THQ's profits in late 1998 and 1999, and it eventually ended up selling 1.8 million copies in the US.
Wow.
And ranking substantially among the best-selling Nintendo 64 games of all time.
I think all of that is saying something. Now, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, full name Odo Kisho, gained positive reviews, and on release, Famitsu magazine scored the game a 30 out of 40. IGN's Aaron Bolden criticized the bland pre-match animation, which we just praised, but he praised the addition of new and various moves. Regarding American gamers, Bolden considered it a nice addition to the library of the most extreme hardcore wrestling fan, and VPW 2 would become the second most popular import title on the N64 after Sin and Punishment. That's also saying a lot.
Damn. Yeah.
Now, I think this game... I had no idea what this game was in year 2000. There's no way I would have known unless I was reading maybe like Pro Wrestling Illustrated or something, and I glanced through it.
Oh, no, this was definitely something I found later on in life.
But the rise of emulators, only a few years later, 2004, 2005, that's where I started seeing people play this and the ones from the previous years, and that's where it kind of made its way into the U.S. I wouldn't be shocked if now, honestly, most game collectors have this now. It's very easy to obtain on eBay. Actually, how much is it? Let's see.
I believe the English translated cartridge is $60 on eBay. Friend of the podcast, Max Smashmaster, is a big fan of Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, and he actually turned me on to the English translated cartridge at FWF. So I was just like, hey, that's a pretty good idea. He said that he's had his for years.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of $60, $70 ones, and then like $130, $140 for a brand new one. Now this is interesting.
Yeah.
Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 Creator Wrestler Memory Card Pack for $35.
Yep.
That's interesting.
So what a lot of people will do is they'll load... I did a deep dive before we played today of my own, where I wanted to see if I could get the English translated ROM for us to play. And one of the things that I saw was you can actually make your controller pack saved with the English translated save file. And when you load up with the controller pack, you can just transfer the data over, and all of the English names will be there. Cool. The menus and stuff will still be, but you can actually have the entire roster translated to English.
Now, I had a memory card for N64, even though you didn't need it, but I think I got it
I had one
for a specific game required it, but most of the time you didn't even use that thing.
So I got one because I had the bugged No Mercy cartridge, and I still do to this day.
Same, but mine never bugged out.
So, every time... So I think it was like 75% of the original cartridges had this issue. Or all of them had the issue, 75% of them actually failed. So I have one of the ones that failed. And then at the time, you could send in your cartridge, and they'd give you the plus version, the 1+ version. And now the 1 plush versions on eBay are going.
Oh, yeah.
A pretty penny.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, I can't find a new one on eBay of VPW2 either. Revenge, I rebought only a few years ago. It was like $10 or so. I don't think it's anything crazy.
I was with you.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, that's when we went to Video Game Trading
I bought
Post.
Sega games that day.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did? I could have seen that we found that, and you were like, "Oh, I'm picking
No,
this
I
up
bought
too."
Revenge years ago on eBay. Yeah, it says it's only $6, $10, and all of the names when I got it were all like slurs, and everyone was wearing pink, and it was like,
Oh,
I was like, oh
Okay, I
no,
remember you telling
oh
the
no,
story.
how do I play this game now? And luckily, within the settings, there's like a factory reset, whatever, of the game.
Yeah.
So I was able to reset it all and actually play the game properly again. At some point, I offloaded all my games, I guess. But anyway, George, I mean, I think we covered what we needed to cover here. Now we turn to you guys.
I think we made a good case.
I think so, too.
For each game.
But now we turn to you guys because head on over to Twitter at GameMarksPod. Check out that pinned tweet and vote. You have a full week to vote until we record. Well, a little less than full week because we record usually Thursday nights. And let us know. Revenge or
I'll say
VPW2?
Do you know what time it is for everyone on Twitter to do?
It's time to rate the games.
The game!
Hey!
So head on over, let us know. We're going to reveal the winner next week's episode and see who's going to round 2. But George, I think that's all we have to talk about here. Are you ready to enter the soft lock?
Oh, let's go. All right, so Soft Lock is a weekly segment where one of our mega marks from our Patreon give us a topic to discuss, debate, talk about, and this week it comes from Megamark Tecker. What's going on, Tecker? And Tecker would like us to pick the top 3 minigames within a game.
Ah, we were just talking about this. I like it. Very on point here.
I might volunteer to go first because I've already got 2. So the first one I can think of that I had a lot of fun with and spent a lot of time was in Metal Gear Solid 3. And in MGS3, there's actually like an ape escape hunt where you find the apes from Ape Escape in Metal Gear Solid 3. And it's like a full-on minigame. And for some reason, me and my friend just spent hours and hours trying to photograph all the stupid monkeys. And for some reason, it just holds a special place. Number 2 is, without a doubt, the Lickitung Sushi game from Pokemon Stadium. And oh man, I can't remember. I want to look it up, the name, because I want to make sure that I'm saying it right. It's the bumper ball minigame from Mario Party.
I almost said that
where
too.
It's like the king of the mountain where you just have to bump for the balls. I cannot tell you how many hours of my life I have lost to playing this game with my friends. It's my favorite. It's the best. I'm terrible at it, but it's so much fun.
All right. Was that 3?
So that's
All
my
right.
3.
First, I'm going to say the Lickitung game because it was the best. Then I'm going to say, I think darts in Grand Theft Auto.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm surprised you didn't say bowling.
Nah, I was more of a darts guy. Darts was more fun. I was actually almost on a darts league once. Like there was a time where I was at a bar every weekend and playing darts and had my own set and everything.
Weren't we all?
Yeah, don't do that anymore. The third one, you mentioned the Mario Party one. I was thinking either the jackhammer one, where you have to jackhammer the face, like the picture.
Where you just have to... Oh, the chisel game.
But... Then when you said the bumper balls one, it made me think of a game I brought up in our Discord, Fusion Frenzy, where you're in a big like ball. It's like a cage ball, and you have to hit into the other guy and knock them off. I thought that was so much fun.
Now, is that a game or a mini game?
The whole game is mini games. It's just a bunch of
okay,
like mini games in the game. Honorable mention to Mario Kart, where I think it's Kart. I don't think it's Party, where you have the 3 balloons on the back.
Yep, that's the battle mode.
Yeah, I love that too.
And I think they did do a small version
Yeah,
of
I
one
thought
of the Mario Party games. You know what we should play and try to do for a game night one
Mario
night? Have you ever heard of Pummel Party?
I'm not.
So Pummel Party is a game that's available on Steam. It's like the adult version of Mario Party. So it's all like mini games, and you roll the die, you go across the board, you can use hazards against your opponents, but it's gory. There's like a little more of like adult themed games where they're a little more violent. Definitely not something that you would ever see on the Switch. I don't think. I could be wrong, and Pummel Party could be on the Switch. But I think it could be a fun game, and if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it.
Now, there's also a game, another honorable mention, Infusion Frenzy, where it's like Snake, but you're a laser, and as you gather the things, like you get longer, but you have to make it to the end. Oh, such a good game. It's available on the Game Pass. I'm going to put it on my brand new Xbox.
I have another honorable mention.
We can keep going.
My other honorable mention is any RBI or shootout mode in any in either an MLB game or a hockey game.
I think it was
shootout mode or the RBI modes are always.
I think it was
the
Hits
best.
03, where you were on like a rooftop and you had to hit the targets from the other roof. It was great.
And didn't Hits just have like a fighting mode at one point where it was just like all you could do is just have fights?
Yeah, maybe one of the earlier ones, possibly.
I feel like there was. Maybe it's not Hits. Maybe it's one of the other spin-off, like Mutant Hockey or something.
Yeah, it's possible. All right, good question. Good question. Now, are you ready? We already talked a lot about AEW Fight Forever. For some more gaming news.
Let's do it.
Here is your gaming news sponsored by WrestleChamps, new for the iOS and Android. Go download it. We are in the game. Use code GameMarks. Get yourself a nice move pack. Now, Sony revealed that its main concern about Call of Duty being owned by Microsoft now is that it could lead to more players playing on the series of Xboxes. And, obviously. Now, according to @MatthiasVictorBR, the map of GTA 6 is as large as the map in Red Dead Redemption 2. Which is massive and way bigger than GTA 5.
That's huge.
And they said they're going to keep adding more as they go, like maybe different states or cities. Gotham Knights developer WB Montreal has released the first 16 minutes of gameplay, which is kind of ironic because we got 16 minutes of Batgirl, and that is the only 16 minutes of Batgirl we are going to see this year, unfortunately, because the movie was canceled.
Didn't the show also get canceled on the CW too?
Oh yeah, that show was terrible. I was actually looking forward to the movie, seeing Michael Keaton again. Brendan Fraser was in it. It was pretty star-studded.
Give me as much Michael Keaton Batman as you can. It's the best.
I don't know, something weird there. But I did watch this. I didn't watch all 16 minutes of it because it was a very slow playthrough. But it did remind me a lot of a mix between like Spider-Man and the Gotham series, Arkham Knight. And there's a very funny Barstool video where they just point out all of the bad guys that are playing with fire. And literally every bad guy that you creep up on is just dumping gas on things, saying, I better light this up now. And you stop them. There was like a good 10 or so. It's just the same thing. So that was pretty funny. But that's a game I'm looking forward to. Definitely going to get that one. But all right, games releasing this week. Thymesia for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, 2 Points Campus, Lost in Play, Arcade Paradise, Cult of the Lamb, and here it is, Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered for the PC. I can't wait for that one. I might honestly rebuy it just to play it again. Hey, it's like a hassle to plug in my PlayStation and play it on my computer. Like, PC, I'm just here.
Yeah, it's the best. That's when AEW comes out. You know I'm getting it for the PC.
That's a toss-up.
It's easier to play. It's easier for us to...
If there's cross-gen, cross-platform, then I'm going to probably get it on Xbox.
Well, yeah, it's also easier for one of us to have it on PC for recording purposes.
Yeah, that's true. Just like your 2K playthrough, right?
I knew you were going to bring that
How's
up.
that going?
YouTube.com/GameMarks podcast for our weekly
Not 2K.
playthrough videos, exclusive content, and more, including this week and every other week's game. I blame Swoggle. John, what is going on with our Patreon? Let's talk about what's coming up September 1st, and then let's do the weekly breakdown.
All right, so September 1st, we are changing our Patreon schedule. I think it's going to be a little bit more user-friendly, if you ask me.
Simplified.
We're going to have a new tier that is only $3 where you get the show early. That's 2 to 3 days early. Usually it's coming out on a Friday lately. And ad-free. And you're getting the show notes in that tier. Now, we figure some of you guys might want just the show and not get the extras, not get the shows, Future Endeavor, and whatnot. So we made a tier just for you, just to get the show ad-free. It's only $3. Check it out now. September 1st, that'll be available. Now, tier 2, you're going to still get Discord access, Discord game night. You're now going to be able to ask the soft lock question, so it's not just the Mega Marks anymore. You're getting Future Endeavored, which is now going to be a monthly show where me and George play together, which is going to be a different dynamic. And you're getting OMG already once a month. We are going to keep going head-to-head in non-wrestling games. And, of course, the GMP64 archive, that's $5, that tier. And now the Mega Mark tier. It is being bumped down to $10, and you are getting all of the perks of tiers 1 and 2, plus you are getting 4 signed 8x10s a year of some surprise guests of the show. Now, listen, these are going to be pretty good. You're going to know who these people are that you're getting 8x10s of. It's not just going to be us. You're going to get some cool stuff here. You're also getting wild...
It's going to be Georgie Clash and Johnny Feis.
Help us know. You're also getting Wild's World, where friends of the show, TK Wild, takes you on his wild adventures, and Clash and Burn, which is where I take you through, backstage of the indie shows I'm working. It's usually one a month. I'm going to try to get one vlog in every month and one podcast version of maybe an interview or something. So you might get that twice. So that is the new tiers starting September 1st. But this week on Patreon, you're getting the show ad-free and the show notes. You are getting GMP64 Game Over on Tuesday, which is going to be moving to our YouTube channel. So you're all going to be able to get that. Future Endeavored, where last week, George played Super Wrestle Angels, and this week I will be playing WCW Nitro.
Stupid card game.
Oh, that's that one. Okay, I remember that one. I like that one. Now, next week, we are getting Wild's World. He's a busy guy. He's going to come out with it. And last night, GMP 64 Unsanctioned. We are on the road to GMP Mania. And this month, September, you are getting Warzone, which is our Rumble.
It's not. We're not playing WWF.
No, thank God. Thank God. It's just called Warzone.
No. Oh, man. John, I can't tell you how excited I am for all of Game Wars and how much fun this episode was to do. The playthrough, the recording, everything about this was great. I think this may be one of the best ideas that you've had. I take zero credit for this. John just said, I have a great idea. I
sent the graphic and everything. I was ready to go.
Yeah. He was just like, I just need your input on the games. And I was like, this is a phenomenal idea.
I can talk about these games all day.
John, I want you to tell the people what we are breaking down next week, because this is heavy hitters.
All right, this one is going to be a very tough one. But we are going SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain versus Fire Pro Wrestling World. Two very, very different dynamics here. Plus, we're going to reveal the winner of this week's battle.
Damn. All right. Here Comes the Pain.
That's
Fire Pro Wrestling World.
I'm confused already. I don't know which way I'm going to go.
I don't know. This
George,
was tough enough.
George.
I can't imagine.
We didn't ask you. We didn't ask each other. Revenge or VPW2? I'm asking you right now.
Sway.
No, I don't need no.
I
don't need no hoopla. Give me what you got.
It's tough, man. The roster on Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 is so much better. Yeah, you know what? It's not even. It's Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 for me.
Same, me too.
Because everyone in Revenge that I would want to play as, guess what? I could just make them Virtual Pro Wrestling 2.
I am 100% with you. I'm Virtual Pro Wrestling also. Well, let's see what the fans think.
It's just... It's so good. But yeah, again, please do not let my opinion, John's opinion sway the vote. Honest opinions here on the Twitter vote. And like John said, at GameMarksPod on Twitter. Make sure to like, retweet that so that we can get as many votes as possible. We want to have, as many eyes on this as possible so we get a nice, well-rounded opinion. But, John, I think that's it, man. Are we putting a bow on
battle,
it?
baby.
All right. GameMarksPod.com/shop for all of our exclusive merchandise. ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod. Got a lot of new shirts going up. Some are getting approved. Some are in the process of getting approved. Oh, man, it's great. Love designing shirts. Patreon.com/GameMarksPod for all of our exclusive contents like early and ad-free episodes, show notes, exclusive shows, and a whole lot more. At GameMarksPod on all forms of social media. And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And leave us a review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you have a product or service that you would like to advertise on this podcast, please reach out to us at GameMarksPod@gmail.com. John, I love that bell. I think it may be the best thing you've ever brought to this podcast. And it was the cheapest thing that we've ever brought to this podcast. So I think it is great. You rang the bell. We did the game war. We talked about the things. I think it's time for you to do that thing that you do.
Game over. Marks.
Game Marks Podcast, put them on the radar. Playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no Game Shark. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future Endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the clash at the feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks Podcast every single Monday.